Hey everyone, hello and welcome to the June 7th edition of the SIG Kubernetes SIG Contributor Experience bi-weekly meeting. This call is being recorded. We operate under the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which essentially boils down to please be nice to everyone and each other in the meeting. We do have a document where we take notes of this meeting. Let me just drop the link to the chat. There we go. Please do add yourself as attendees to the meeting. Having said that, does anyone want to volunteer to take notes for the meeting?
I can do it.
Thank you, Aislinn. Thanks so much. So first agenda of the day, we would like to give the new attendees or anyone the opportunity to introduce themselves before we start with the other agenda items in the meeting. It's totally optional, and you can either unmute yourself or type in the chat if you wish to introduce. Maybe a couple of seconds if anyone wants to unmute themselves.
Is anybody new?
Maybe one, but it's optional.
Yeah. Cool. Let's go ahead. But if you wish to introduce, you can still type in the chat anytime in the meeting. Awesome. First off with the events, contributor summits. Do we have anything with respect to the Chicago Contributor Summit?
Not that I know of at this time. The LF has not reached out about, picking those meetings back up.
Nigel's on the call.
Hi, I'm here. Yes. Do we want to have meetings start?
Well, we should. That's up to you. You're the lead.
Okay. Then I would say maybe you're saying folks are on vacation right now, so should we wait like a week or two, maybe like kick off the next time that we have the week of the next contributor, the Contribex meeting?
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing that we can do right now is actually try to assemble our team.
Right.
And make sure that we have leads for all positions.
So I can start working on opening that issue if we want to just get out in front of it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the advantage that you have a bunch of people like me who are like, yeah, I can do all of the things, so just assign me something.
Yeah, and I understand as well that you wanted to take this opportunity to revamp the playbooks and everything, make sure that everything is good to go.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, because one of the problems we found in Amsterdam was that there was no operations lead playbook.
Yeah.
And as a result, a bunch of things got forgotten.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. So I will work on that over the next couple of days, getting that issue up. Let's say it'll be up no later than Friday, and then we'll start socializing it and seeing if folks want to put their hands up to help out. Oh.
One other thing I would also recommend is just touching base with Brianne and Deb.
Will do.
Is the one thing that's usually due really far ahead of time is our space requirements.
Yeah, one of the questions for us to guess at, and I have no idea on what basis we'd make this guess, is are we expecting Chicago Contributor Summit to be bigger or smaller than Amsterdam was? The arguments in favor of bigger is North America has traditionally been bigger. The arguments in favor of smaller are there's going to be more schedule conflicts because of this KubeCon schedule. Literally everything that is not main track is going to be on Monday. Because KubeCon is Monday to Thursday instead of Tuesday to Friday. And so people are going to be even more conflicted than they were in Amsterdam. And it's in the fourth quarter, which for a lot of people with large corporate employers, they're going to run out of travel funds. So,
So then maybe we plan for it to be roughly the same size.
seems as good a plan as any.
Okay. Cool.
What was our final number? I think it was around 200 for registrations.
Yeah, the problem is that we don't we don't actually know how many people attended. It was definitely more than 100, just based on the photo alone.
Yeah.
But where it was in the range of 100 to 180, I don't know.
Cool. Well, yeah, for now, we'll just tentatively plan for 150, 200 people. And then, yeah, I'll get in touch with Deb and Brienne and work on getting that issue out. All good on this? Cool.
Awesome.
And count me in as your backup.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, Noah.
Yeah, I also do have to drop. So I don't know if there's any YouTube stuff that we need to talk about. Arnaud reached out. Oh, sorry, I'm like totally derailing the agenda. But yeah, Arnaud reached out. So I'm talking to Kate's Infra about the Zapier. Moving first, I need to move stuff to the Zapier that we have now. Thanks, Bob. And then talking to SIGs about implementing it across those SIGs, because now at least a couple people have reached out about doing it. So yeah, those are my YouTube updates.
Let me know if I can help in any way with this. I'd be happy to help.
Thanks. Yeah. There may be a problem to solve, and that I don't know if a single Zapier function can work for multiple accounts. So we may have to create a new Zap every time. So I would be interested, perhaps, if that is the case, like finding a more elegant solution. But for now, things work. You know, the Contribex one has been working steadily, trending over the videos. And so, yeah, I'm fairly confident that as we incorporate more SIGs, like everything will be fine, but I will reach out if I need support. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks. Do we have, before you drop, like, do we have any updates on Zoom or Slack?
On Zoom?
On Zoom or Slack moderation or automation?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I know that there was a request that came in that Bob handled about changing the name of the meeting. But yeah, as far as I know, there hasn't been anything else that has come up. And yeah, for the most part, I've just been doing the YouTube stuff, but I'm happy to accept more of this like block on the agenda to be more mindful of what's happening in Slack and on Zoom.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. I'll see you soon.
Cool. Going back to the agenda items, do we have any updates on the mentoring programs?
Not really. We've got a couple of SIGs participating in GSOC. I don't think we have anybody doing LFX right now. And that's currently about it. We really need to look at restarting group mentoring. And actually need to officially reach out about some sub-projects that have suffered severe maintainer attrition, and we need to help them with mentoring new maintainers. So look for a write-up on that later on.
In the past, like, did we send any email like seeking interest from SIGs, or like we went through the
Yeah.
annual reports and okay, so we saw.
Yeah, when we're ready to help them, we sent out something to like all the SIGs. And would have a couple of them volunteer. But often we actually targeted particular SIGs we knew already were either ready for it or needed help.
One of the other outlets we'll bring it up is just like the chair and TL meeting.
That sounds like a good plan. So in the chairs and TLs meeting, should we just give them a heads up that we're planning to like seek interest, or do we say that, hey, we'll be doing this soon? Since things are not concrete yet, I'm wary of the language.
I think it's just like, do you have any areas that could benefit from something like that? And then, drill down from there.
Cool. I think we can take that up tomorrow. Awesome. Moving on. Oh, forgot to do this one thing. Do you have any questions on any of the topics that we've covered till now? I know this is a small group, so I'm pretty sure they would have questions right then and there. But still giving the opportunity. Cool. Let's move on to contributor comms. Caitlin.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Comms with Caslin today. So we did get confirmation from the CNCF that our funding for adding Mastodon to our buffer account is good to go. So we just need to get that added. We had a few other kind of housekeeping items that we need to take care of with GitHub, with updating our team and updating some of our role handbooks. We're doing a project right now trying to get all of our leads to update their role handbooks with explicit shadow requirements. Originally, when we designed the roles, we defined what you need to have in order to do the role, since a shadow is just someone who is training to take over the role. But a lot of folks we found are confused by the term shadow. They don't really know what that means. So we're trying to add more explicit guidance in all of our documentation. So we're adding a section in each role handbook that is shadow requirements, which is the things that you need to have, with maybe some guidance on the things that you can learn as a shadow. And also making it clear everywhere that a shadow is someone who is going to take over a lead position. I think that's about it for us.
Cool.
We have a lot of SIG spotlights working in the works, which is exciting. Lots of blog posts going.
Awesome. Next up, contributor documentation, contributor site, and the guide.
I have not, hasn't been any changes like the guide or anything like that. And I don't think there's too much going on with the site right now.
I remember there was an issue with the script that we use for generating the site. It was open to move it from Bash to Go, I guess.
That has been an open issue for years, and
So,
no one has touched it. Well, I think that people have touched it, and then decided it wasn't like just did not continue to pursue it.
So I have a few people who occasionally come up like, hey, we want to contribute to something new. Is this something that is something of a priority that you can give those people? and we can maybe ask our tech leads to mentor them.
It's pretty much nice to have and would let us bring in more documentation. The biggest thing is just being able to use the same like markdown library that Hugo uses. And so instead of basically using a bunch of regexes to try and find links and things like that, it could just natively do it. But whoever does it needs to have a very, very good understanding of Bash. That script is something I am both proud and not proud of, like many big Bash scripts.
Yeah, I think finding people who have that much knowledge of Bash is the big challenge here. Well, we'll see. I'll try to ask the TLs how much bandwidth they have if they want to mentor, and if any person comes up who has like adequate Bash knowledge to work on this. Thanks, Bob. We did already cover moderation media. Moving on to GitHub management. I can give one update. So the long pending issue of like cleaning up inactive org members, I'm going to work on this on Friday. I have built like a small script which utilizes the existing org machinery to find people who were inactive in a certain time period. Although there is one pending question, I think we had been discussing in the GitHub management call on what is the duration that we set for removing people, the duration of inactivity. We used to earlier look at 1.5 years or 18 months-ish. Should we change it to any year? I don't know, like where should this consensus be taken from? Or like, I think Contribex is the owner for that area at least.
Yeah, Contribex is the owner. It's also worth at least getting, word from steering to take a look at it. Just as sort of the overall, sort of vision for the project.
I can add it as an action item. Well, there's another news. So Madhav, who is also a TL, is GitHub admin too. He's not on the call, but since it's been recorded, congrats, Madhav. And thank you for taking up that additional responsibility. Really appreciate it. Bob, do you have anything else from the GitHub management side? The org transfer stuff, anything, does it need to be brought up here? Not the org transfer, sorry, repo transfer.
Nothing right now that I can think of.
Okay, cool. So we move on to the open mic part of the meeting. Bob, the first agenda item is from you.
No, 1 sec. So I have been sort of prepping the migration of the Contribex lists over to Kubernetes managed lists. And so far, everything looks good. I still need to do the export and import. But if that works, then it's pretty just like setting a date and a cutover. Then documenting it and trying to get the other 6 to do the same.
Do you need any help with this?
I don't think so. It's like really there's like 2 steps left, at least for testing on the Contribex side.
Cool. So the next item on steering election.
Yeah, that was mostly just like a reminder that, hey, we probably need to like at least start thinking about it, because the election is August and September, I think.
We, I think, need to start prepping in August, and the election is around September.
So I currently have in progress a PR to finish the election docs. It's the timeline portion that actually needs to be finished. Once that's finished, we can put out a call. We need to contact last year's election officers to see who's willing to serve again. And then we can put out a call for additional folks.
Something else to potentially do is poke some of the steering members that are, either can't run again or don't have the intention of running again.
Oh, in terms of being election officers, yeah.
Yep.
The yeah, I mean, because obviously every time when we put out a general call, every time we have somebody who's not even an org member volunteers, like, thank you for your enthusiasm, but this is not a role for you. The yeah, the other thing that I actually need to do is ping everybody and see who's still interested in the election sub-project, because a lot of the people who were interested in it when we officially launched it have moved on to other things. So and one of my intentions as part of stepping down as Contribex chair is that I could actually go back to the plans that I had for the election sub-project. So so that's the plan. We also need to rev the software, but I'm waiting to see if I can actually get one more difficult fix in. The difficult fix having to do with case sensitivity. Right now, Electo is case sensitive in places where it shouldn't be, but the problem is that fixing that is a total refactor of the code. So we'll see if I get that done before the election. Otherwise, we just put docs in warning people.
I think there might actually be this is fuzzy memory of Python, but I think there might be an easier way to, and like not a total rewrite, but just a couple changes.
No, because the problem is that the comparison with your logged in GitHub ID is being made individually, like in all kinds of places. And it's just being made as a list comprehension. It's not anything, it's not a function.
Okay.
So the first rewrite is that we need to take all of those comparisons and redirect them to a utility function. That's the rewrite part. Then we can do whatever we want in the utility function, but first they need to be centralized somewhere. So yeah, that was on my to-do list because I was hoping to do it for the Knative elections, and I realized how much work it was going to be. And actually, just so you know, we have plans for the next cycle in LFX to get one, maybe two interns working on future Electo goals. Because one of the things is an overhaul of the UX for Electo, because navigation is not great. And now that the back end functionality is very solid from like a security perspective, it's time to actually look at UX.
Awesome. Do you have anything else to talk about? I don't see anything else on the agenda. Josh. Nothing more? Then I think we can.
I think we're good to go.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining today's edition of the SIG Contributor Experience bi-weekly meeting. And with that, have a nice day or night ahead. See you in another 2 weeks.
Later.